Hi friends! I'm doing a different kind of special sort of video today. My son's favorite therapist, and I kind of like to think that he might be her favorite too. Might be way off base here, but it's just the way I like to think of it. Is going on maternity leave this week. And I wanted to put together something special for her. I feel like typically when you do a baby shower or any time that a pregnant person receives a present, it's usually something geared for the baby. Very rarely have I ever seen gifts given to a mother or mother-to-be that are for the mother-to-be. So I decided that I wanted to put together kind of like a new mom, last trimester, postpartum type basket for her. I took to the interwebs and I asked my Facebook friends, what kinds of things did you feel like you could not live without in your first few months of being a mom? What are things that you wish you had with you when you came home from the hospital, for example? Things that would have made your life easier. Things that would have helped the transition from not being a mom to now suddenly being a mom just that much more bearable. And I got some really good ideas. Now I wanted to approach this from a place of, I don't know if she's planning a vaginal birth or a cesarean, and I don't know if she intends to nurse or to bottle feed or some combination thereof. If it were somebody that was just like a personal friend, I might have asked those things, I might have known those things, but seeing as this is a professional sort of relationship, I wanted to err on the side of like, these are things that you could use either way. So I wanted to give you guys a list first off of like the honorable mentions, the things that I thought were great ideas, but for one reason or another I decided not to include in my basket. Nursing bras. Great idea, but again, I didn't want to assume, and also I feel like that's kind of an intimate gift to be giving someone that I have a professional relationship with. I hope we can be friends once she's no longer my child's therapist, but there is a line that you're not supposed to cross, so that I think would have been straddling that line a bit much. The Haka pump. I actually love buying this for my pregnant friends. It's a silicone pump that you just kind of stick onto the boob and it catches everything, and I never got to use one myself personally because when I was breastfeeding this didn't exist, or at least I wasn't aware of it. This was many moons ago, but I usually buy these for my pregnant friends. Again though, I felt like I didn't want to assume that she was going to be nursing, and so I left that one off. Frida Perry bottles. I've heard such good things about these, but it was a little bit pricey considering that the hospital gives you one. I know that this one is different because the one that the hospital gives you is typically just a bottle with like a squirt topper on it, like a Zephyrhills bottle almost, whereas the Frida has like a curvy nozzle that makes it easier to use. But once again, this kind of fell into the category of, we're cool, but maybe we shouldn't be cool like that, where I'm giving you something to clean your vagina with. In that category though, just to get them out of the way, the donut for you to sit on. The hospital is supposed to give you one of those assuming you have a vaginal birth. I never used one because I had a cesarean, but that is something that the hospital will provide typically, so I don't know if you have to ask for it or not. But stool softener, obvious reasons I'm not going to be like here. She could definitely use it. It's definitely a great idea for a postpartum care basket. Is it something that I should be giving to my child's therapist? I don't know, I felt a little weird about that. And pads. Thing about pads is that, like, for example, I don't use disposable pads. I use cloth pads. Some people do use disposable pads but maybe have a preferred brand. It's one of those things that it's so personal that there's no guarantee that they're going to actually use the ones you bring, so might as well leave that to her. Another idea that I got outside of that category, that realm, that I thought was fantastic was a lot of people suggested things like meal trains or cleaning services. Again, if that's something that maybe you could pull together with other people to get for the expecting parent, that's a great idea. This was just me doing it on my own, so I don't have the resources to make that happen. And along that same vein, someone suggested like a Postmates gift card or Uber Eats or something like that. The thing is that I know that this particular person lives very far, like out there, and I'm not sure if any of these services deliver to where she lives, so I didn't want to give her something that she could not use. So now that we've got all that out of the way, let me show you what's actually going in the basket. First of all, this is the basket. And this is one that I actually had around the house. I'm re-gifting it. I got it for Christmas from my sister. Thank you, my sister. But I wanted to pass it along to somebody that could really use it. And I love the size and depth of this because I feel like this would be great for like keeping diapers and wipes and things like that as well. I had something very similar when my son was using cloth diapers. This is a lot nicer and like deeper and bigger than the one I had. So that's why I kind of was pulled to this for this particular purpose. You could also use something plastic, like even from the Dollar Tree, and maybe just like wrap it up in a nice fabric or something to make it a little prettier. I kind of wish I'd thought to do that for this one, to be honest, to add some sort of a lining, but time is of the essence and I did not have time to do that, so this is what it is. I got her, I'm keeping it in the plastic, so, but you guys can imagine what it is. I got a steel cup. It's a stainless steel tumbler, 16 ounces. It's got a lid and a straw, and so there it is. I'm gonna go ahead and put it down in the basket actually, but that I thought would be a good idea so that if she does decide to nurse, it's easy to fill with water and just have wherever it is that she's gonna intend to set up for nursing. I feel like all nursing moms have like a station, right? Or maybe like a traveling one. I've seen that too. But being hydrated is never a bad idea, so I thought that this would be helpful. Speaking of hydration, I got a box of organic pregnancy tea because I am giving her this gift when she still has about 6 weeks left to go in her pregnancy. So I figure, why not? A little treat for now. No reason to have to wait for birth to enjoy any of these things. And along that same vein, I got a box of organic mother's milk tea. Again, this is kind of making the assumption that she will be nursing. I tried. I really tried to stay away from this sort of thing, but I actually really liked this tea. It's got fenugreek in it, which is the element of the tea that's supposed to help promote production of breast milk, but it tastes like pancakes kind of to me. Like it has like a mapley flavor. I really liked drinking this when I had my kid, so if nothing else, she can have some nice yummy tea. And again, this is also assuming that she's nursing, but even if she's not, this is not like you can't have this otherwise. I got her some Cliff Bars because I figured some one-handed easy snacks would not be a bad choice. So I got her white chocolate macadamia nut, oatmeal raisin walnut, chocolate brownie, and chocolate chip. So again, just some snackies. If she's not nursing, they're food. If she is nursing, they could be a lifesaver when she's starving and she's holding a kid with one hand and only has the other one to eat. So there you go. And then staying in that same realm, I got this little jar of Earth Mama Organics organic nipple butter. So this is made with cocoa butter and shea butter. It's kind of an alternative to lanolin. If you are nursing or if you have nursed, you know that nipples get sore, they crack, they sometimes bleed. Nobody warns you about this. It's just something that happens. So it's nice to have something like this on hand to be prepared. And I figure, again, if she's not nursing, this is something that could be soothing to a baby's bottom when they get a rash, so it's not going to go to waste. You might have seen in my recent Five Below haul that my son picked up an eye mask for himself because he's bougie like that, I guess. If you want to check out that video, I'm going to post a link to it up here in the corner. But I decided to go back and get another face mask. This was $3 at Five Below, and it's just a cooling eye mask, so she could stick this in the fridge and then stick it on her face for those 15 minutes every like 2 hours or so that she'll be able to get some sleep. Sorry, new parents, that's just the reality of life. Hopefully you have a better go at it than I did, but that's kind of seems to be the consensus. And it doesn't have to be put in the fridge either, and it's got like a lining in the back that's just like furry and fuzzy and nice, so she could also just use it to sleep with, you know? To continue the cozy theme, I got these terry cloth flip-flops. I'm assuming her shoe size, I honestly don't know, but these were also $3. These are actually from Target. And I figured they're just, you know, they're cozy. It's something to slip on and off easily. So yeah, just thought that would be cute. We got some hair ties because why not? You can never go wrong with having too many of these. We got some lip balm. At the hospital in particular, this is going to really come in handy because being in hospitals just like dries you out completely, I think. So I figure she could use it then. It'll be nice to have. It might not be the sort of thing that people really think of first when they consider things you might want at the hospital, things you might want for after. So this will be nice for her to have. We got some cozy socks that I actually had to go back and buy twice because my son kept opening the packs and wearing them himself. So I guess they're gonna have bestie socks now. That's fun. But we're just adding a little bit more cozy to the basket with these. And you know how I said earlier I didn't want to include anything that was like, hey, this is for your vagina. Well, I figured some witch hazel wipes would not be a bad plan. I actually wanted to just get her a bottle of witch hazel so she could make her own padsicles, but I had the hardest time finding just a bottle of witch hazel. Came across these though, and I figured they're not exactly the same thing, but pretty close. So you'd use these to wipe instead of just wearing them everywhere the way you would a padsicle. But I'm told that if you have a vaginal birth, these are life-saving. So I figured it couldn't hurt to include these. And now the very last thing that I'm going to include in my basket, you might have seen a video that I posted recently where I made this. If you haven't, I'm going to post a link to it up here in the corner so you can check it out. But I thought I can't just give her a present without giving something to the baby too. She is the focus, but I feel like the baby is the reason for the season. And so I should include something for the babes. So I made her a blanket. And this blanket turned out really, really nice actually, if I do say so myself. It's only the 4th blanket I've ever made, but I really took my time with this one considering that I had less than a week to make it, and I made sure there was no mistakes or anything in it. It turned out really, really nice. It's super, super soft. It's extra big so she can continue to use it even through toddlerhood. And this did cost a little. I'm not gonna say exactly how much, but let's say it probably cost more than everything else in the basket put together. But I think it means a lot that like this is a homemade gift that the child could use for years to come, and hopefully she likes it as much as I do. I've also got a roll of cellophane here. I am the least crafty person on the planet, so I don't know how exactly I'm gonna wrap the basket up in this. And I got some nice thick pink ribbon to like make a bow on top, although it's probably gonna end up looking more like I tied a shoelace. But yeah, I'm going to try to set this all up in a way that it looks cute, I guess. And that'll be that. So what do you think, guys? Did I cover all the bases? Is there anything you think I should have included? Anything I missed? If you've ever put together a basket like this, what else did you include? And if you are a mom, whether you recently had your first baby or you had your kids 20 years ago, what do you think was the most important thing that got you through those first few weeks postpartum? Any advice you'd like to impart on a first-time mom? Let me know in the comments. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, I hope you'll please give it a big thumbs up. I'd also love it if you would subscribe and click the notification bell because I post at least 3 times a week and I wouldn't want you to miss a minute. Thanks so much again for watching. Bye!